Gumiho actually coming out with a concussive shell Marauder opening. This is kind of a crazy build that I was not expecting, and I wonder if this is him trying to blind counter the Cyclones a little bit, because they can't really kite. The concussive shell, I don't think. I haven't really seen this interaction in a TVT just yet.
If you cover the IDs up, you're like, oh wow, Gumiho's red Cyclones are coming out on the map.
Yeah.
But actually, back at home, it's going to be a lot of Stim Marauders. Now, Stim's not done yet, right?
No, I think it's just concussive shell. Yeah, Stim's about 75% done. The 5th or the 6th Marauder is about to enter the field. And we'll see this initial engagement. All right, here we go. Marauders versus Cyclones. How does this one go? I guess you can't just slow them down enough, but the Cyclones actually doing surprisingly well here. I thought this would be much better for Gumiho than...
All you need is one shot to connect.
One shot kill guarantees the kill pretty much, but I honestly thought that that would be a better trade for Gumiho. I'm not ashamed to admit that I haven't seen a lot of concussive shell Marauder versus Cyclone openings clash on the new patch.
It does seem like if you had just one of the other Marauders like fork a shot off and hit the other Cyclone, so you're slowing down 2 at a time.
It's so tough though.
I know. It's like, it's one of those things you can say it and it's easier, but to try to actually do it, not so much. Another push comes out here. This time Cure moving down, chasing out the Cyclone of Gumiho.
Oh, now here with this, with almost a set of stimmed medevac. I guess that basically is what it turns into when you boost. With a medevac with speed, that does kind of change the math a little bit, because that plus stim, you're able to chase down these units. Cure does not have a medevac to lift anything up, so he's going to need a siege tank to anchor the position, and indeed it does, but...
Almost feels like Cure's moving in maybe too soon. Doesn't feel very safe, but hold on. Gumiho insta-picks up. Is this impulsive or is this genius? Cure is pulling away. I don't believe Cure had any idea that there was a pickup, although we do see Gumiho scan the path that way that Cure would head back home to defend, and instead he goes in for an intercept.
Oh, this is so sick by Gumiho. He's going to get a siege tank for that.
This is really good.
What an awesome play.
And Gumiho's going to stay active on the map. He's going to move out again. It does seem like Cure's traded a little bit better.
I think that last trade was good for him, but keep in mind, Gumiho was able to pick off a good number of Cyclones. That's a lot of production time on the factories. And he got that siege tank, and he's going to get even more Cyclones here. The Marauder's actually trying to stim forward and get the additional Cyclone, and in fact it does. I would love to see the units lost tab right now here for Gumiho, as I feel like it's absolutely in his favor. Now, Cure does have these Ravens and 3 siege tanks, so with Interference Matrix, he should be able to push Gumiho out of this position, but Gumiho is instead going to go to the main base, and there is not a lot here to defend. That 3rd missile turret was not yet completed, and now there's stimmed bio here in the main base. That siege tank about to pop might get sniped depending on how it rallies out.
Yeah, really nice auto turrets, but Gumiho pulls away. Continuing to dish out a decent amount of damage. The 2 medevacs here still alive, so if he needs to pick up, he can pull away and do that. Really good control here. 7 infantry already killed off. It looks like the last medevac doesn't get out, so no more threats there in the main, but the 4th base is coming down, and it is true, man. Sometimes the best defense is a good offense.
Yeah, Cure hasn't been able to get really anything done on Gumiho's side of the map this entire time, and although Gumiho, that wasn't a very militarily efficient trade, he did lose 2 medevacs and a fair number of bio units there trying to get that harassment done in the main base. He's at the 74 SCVs now, so the 58 workers of Cure, and if I'm not mistaken, I don't even think Cure has a 4th command center on the way. I'm looking at the mini-map, I don't see anything boxy enough to be a CC, so Gumiho just playing a very harassment and macro-oriented style. Now, the one big advantage that Cure has in these engagements is Interference Matrix on those Ravens. He can disable the siege tanks if the opportunity presents itself and potentially take a good trade, and in fact, that's what he's going to do. The siege tank on the high ground does unsiege in time, but the one on the low ground will fall, and this is going to allow Cure to kind of bunny hop his way into a very dangerous position. This is really far forward right now. He's going to siege up. Marines coming in on the flank, but is there going to be enough here for Gumiho? I don't think so.
Yeah, I think Cure might have actually pierced his defenses, and now the last tank is going to fall. Meanwhile, Cure has so much. I mean, this is huge right now. The tank count far superior here for Cure as he continues to advance in this position. The tank's going to siege up again. This time, some of those tanks even in range of the other tank.
Yeah, Medevac's lifting up the SCVs to try to evac them from this situation. Now, there are some Vikings out here for Gumiho, but he really has to focus on just stopping this push in its tracks. The Ravens, I believe they did fall during all of that battle, so no more interference matrix. And actually, Gumiho is just going to stim and pull the SCVs and try and break this. I think that's a mistake.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to work. And now we got some more tanks here in the back, continuing to get pushed further and further away here from Gumiho. Keep in mind, a drop into the main is also a very real threat. And you can see already Gumiho is starting to wrap some of his infantry around it just to preempt that. But at wherever Gumiho is going to go, Cure's just going to try to go in the opposite direction. Another move out.
Gumiho coming in once again, and it's Stimmarine against Stimmarines. The upgrades are mostly equal, but Cure, just with the overwhelming mass and the better arc, is just going to be able to wipe the floor with all these SCVs, all these Marines. And the supplies, they're very even, but I like the way that Cure is playing this one right now. I mean, he's getting so much damage done on Gumiho. Gumiho's worker lead has completely evaporated, and he is so on the back foot. And plus, these barracks trying to rally down into the natural expansion. The Marines just keep getting shelled by the siege tanks here on the low ground.
Yeah, and you know, until these tanks are taken out, these Marines are driven out, there's no way to recover this position. Look, he's so good at staying on top of the scans. Cure is so perfect when it comes to preemption. The main's still getting dealt a lot of damage, more infantry coming down. We do have another base fresh out of the oven there at the top left. No mules, no SCVs mining from that for now.
Gumiho trying to stabilize, and these Vikings are really assisting that quite a bit. Having these Vikings to secure vision, and man, Gumiho, that's a big play. 3 or 4 full medevacs moving across map immediately. Cure is unaware, and Gumiho perhaps maybe second-guessing himself a little bit. He brought them back for a moment and then decided to fully commit.
He's going to push in again. He may try to go for the main once more.
If he can anchor a position down at the triangle third and lift into the main base, that's going to be really tough for Gumiho to deal with. And that seems like it's exactly what he's going to try and do. Only one siege tank here for Gumiho in the main as he's posturing outside the third base and looking for a counterattack of his own. Actually, Gumiho, I think he's going for a base trade. Look at this on the map.
Gumiho's just going to try to see what he can do. But already so much of the infrastructure is going to be damaged. Meanwhile, there's enough siege tanks here, I think, to meet comfortably the counterattack here from Gumiho, but Gumiho takes another huge counterattack up here.
Yeah, another really big stim coming through. I don't think there are any medevacs assisting this army that's attacking the third base, but Gumiho will be able to take it out. Supplies massively in favor of Cure right now as he's going to try and hold on to the defense between the natural expansion and the third. Gumiho was eventually able to clean up the attack in his main base, but now the natural expansion is vulnerable. Gumiho once again hunting for another base to take down, but at the end of the day, I'm starting to like Cure's position more and more. As these economies slowly dwindle, the army supply is going to matter significantly more. And actually, Gumiho, he's fixated on that high ground base. And in fact, it's the attack coming in from the top side. Cure, I don't think Cure should be able to get too much done with his Hellion and 2 Reaper push, but
no,
I am curious because Gumiho did lose that opening Reaper, right? And the Cyclone does kind of anchor the defense here on the low ground quite well. We'll see Cure start to push forward. Maybe if that SCV had RNG'd its way all the way up to the top left of the command center, he would have been able to pick it off, but not this time.
Okay, does shoot down one Cyclone, gets the revenge, gets the kill there. What's more important about, you know, who got what, it's, you have to remember that the map is more ambiguous here for Gumiho. He's not able to scout and check what's going on here. You don't want to be burning through scans this early on in the game. Both sides will have their command centers on the low ground finish up.
In fact, Cure is just going to be wildly out of position for the Cyclone, both at the, okay, Gumiho does pull back, but this one in the main base, there is nothing here to defend for Cure. His units are basically in the middle of the map. He's going to have to use this Cyclone and the medevac and pull some SCVs, but the siege tank immediately focuses it down. Marines are now going to drop on top of the siege tank, and although Cure will be able to clean this up, 6 SCVs already going down. Now, my question is, how much damage is Cure going to be able to get done on the other side of the map? Because the Cyclone now hitting the natural expansion means even more damage is going to come in. And this siege tank really shelling those Cyclones. Cure is getting a beating here.
Yeah, he was unable to really get that tank on the high ground. That was super clutch. And now he's going to lose his infantry units while he retreats. The command center's been lifted. Cure's already in dire straits. He's really hurting right now. In fact, the counterattack from Gumiho is starting to sweep across the map and clear out the other remaining units that Cure has. This game could fall flat on its face here for Cure if he's not able to stabilize in the next few minutes.
Yeah, Gumiho, once he stims this, I gotta keep saying it, stims the medevac on top of these Marines, is able to get 2 of them. And every unit is critical here for Cure in terms of defense. He has bled out so much early. Gumiho up 10 army supply at this stage in the game, when most of that army supply is in siege tanks, is massive. There's only 1 Raven on the field here for Cure. I don't believe there is interference matrix research just yet. And Gumiho once again sieging up in the main base. Big shot on those Marines.
And this tank is going to fall here. With the Cyclone and the other tank already here, it's going to be a lot to hack and saw your way through.
Oh, he's a tank.
Yeah, he's got another one on their low ground. He's going to try to clean this up as well, but he's got to be careful. Reinforcements continue to come. And with no tank actually available right now, this could be a big problem. I think Gumiho could really start to spiral this damage out of control. You can also get the kill on the tank right as it spawns.
Yeah, instead, Gumiho just going to go for the add-on, minimize the production out of the barracks, and Cure, by the way, right now is throwing down a 3rd command center in his main base, so that's some kind of bravery for him. We'll see if he can hold on.
Oh my God, really good job with the auto turret, so smart. The spread of SCVs and Marines will eventually clean this up, but the damage continues to come out. Gumiho's position is so healthy, although in some ways I'm kind of intimidated by how good Cure is at defending all that. Like throwing the 3rd command center down while you're getting harassed like that, where it's like, well, I got to not only hold this, I have to catch up in bases. I got to start landing mules and getting SCVs out here and just holding off with even less than I could have if I invested all that money into just more infrastructure immediately.
Yeah, but truly everything is going Gumiho's way.
Yeah, well, I think this game's probably going to end with a Gumiho win unless Cure does something insane.
As far as upgrades go, Gumiho started his 1-1 far earlier than Cure did. I believe Cure's upgrades maybe only about a quarter of the way complete, as you see infantry weapons and infantry armor level 1 about to complete here for Gumiho. So the window of attack that he's going to have to utilize these upgrades is massive, and I think Gumiho knows it. He's trying to line up the attack right in time with that, and he's also getting double Viking production right out of the gate. So he wants to slow push this position here for Cure and do not allow him to take a 3rd base. And even with interference matrix here on the side of the red Terran, I am not sure he's going to be able to stop this push. I mean, just look at the RB supplies right now. 74 for Gumiho to 55 for Cure, and the Vikings just dominating the skies.
Yeah, and you know, this really forces Cure to do something. If he doesn't, that command center is going to explode. He's being forced to use a lot of his own resources to repair it. The gases can't be mined from without the risk of SCVs getting shelled. And, I mean, this game goes one of 2 ways. Either Gumiho wins it right now, or Cure is able to stop this push, this siege setup over here, and start to try to get his 3rd base landed. Oh my God, it's so low on HP too.
Oh, I think it might be going down. He's gonna have to lift.
Oh no, but Vikings are in the air too.
All right, so Cure going for a really big play, has 3 full medevacs of Marines. They're actually catching a lot of the reinforcements of Gumiho, but this defensive position set up at the natural expansion will be enough to thwart this attack. The Vikings actually still going after this command center, might be able to take it down. It's on 80 HP. SCV is getting pulled at Gumiho's 3rd base. I think Cure is running out of steam on Gumiho's side of the map. Some SCVs do fall, but keep in mind that upgrade advantage here for Gumiho. It lasted a long time. 25 HP. That command center is dead, man. It is not going to get repaired, is it? It's on 1 HP. 1 HP.
He's got it.
No way. It was literally, I think, 1 HP.
Oh, this is like a bad movie. It's like a bad movie, man.
I thought there was no chance the SCVs were going to repair
Cure just has to win.
Well, he's going for the same idea. He's dropping a ton of Marines outside of his base and wants to kind of go into this almost pseudo-base trade. There's no medevacs here for Gumiho's army on the ground. As Cure is going to try and navigate across the map again, and now do you go for a flank on the position outside of your natural, or do you try to continue to hammer Gumiho back at home? I feel like there might not even be a winning answer here for Cure. Even if he plays perfectly from this position, what really can be done? He's basically on a 1-base economy. He cannot land that command center. He's going to have to pull the SCVs, come in from the flank side, and try and get out of this position, but Gumiho right now at 170 supply is just going to rinse it.
There is no way that you can recover from this position. Just barely. Got to drive back that one tank, but I mean, you have to land the command center. The siege tank was actually in the way, by the way, where the command center could land.
Like, the fans are watching this. They're expecting me to be able to close this out. Why haven't I been able to do it? There are some mind games like that that factor in a best of 3.
These players who just won't leave the game and put up a crazy fight no matter what.
Oh, if this scout comes through for Gumiho, okay, this is huge. If he did not know, this could be a disaster, but now Gumiho, he can ready himself.
Yeah, so this completely changes everything. I was going to say, if you could just get Reapers outside their barracks, they're going to have to lift the barracks up, and by then there's going to be so many Reapers out, it might just snowball the game. But I think this is manageable.
It should be. Cure still hasn't identified there is a barracks on the low ground, but he doesn't see one here in the main base, so he's not sure exactly what is up. And actually, here we go. Oh, that Reaper coming out of the rally, almost able to intercept this one. Cure now caught in the natural expansion. There's no way to go.
Okay, so hold up.
That Makarat suddenly turned from an Achilles heel into an advantage as both the Reapers were Cure. He got so thrown off from the rally that he lost his whole advantage.
Yeah, well, he gets in there and it's like, okay, where can I intercept the next Reaper? What's my position? And then suddenly a Reaper comes in from behind.
The barracks was outside of the base. He could just easily intercept the reinforcements. It'd be so hard for Cure to defend, but...
Hold the phone, state.
What?
We have a starport as well as a fusion core being made.
Yeah, Gumiho. Sorry, go ahead.
No. I mean, we're just saying the Battlecruiser has started. The command center is going to land. There really isn't anything to deal with the Battlecruiser. I think it's possible Gumiho could just kill him here.
And so there's the potential if Gumiho decides to move cross-map. I mean, he is pumping out Hellions. Hellions, at this early stage of the game, they can shred Marines. Are we going to bank the BC? He's going for a second one. This is crazy.
I think he's going to move out. I think he's going to hit him. Otherwise, there might just be enough stuff inadvertently there to take this on.
These units might
he's
synergize.
waiting for the old Yamato gun. Oh, no, he's not.
No, he's not. He's just going to come right in. All right, well, Cure is probably a little bit confused by this. Already 2 Marines getting taken down as there isn't much here on the ground for Cure. The siege tanks are going to anchor the position a little bit here. Gumiho would love to be able to move in with the Hellions and the Cyclones to try and take out the anti-air.
Third base.
For Cure, and third base underway. Is he going to Yamato the siege tank? What is the priority here if you're Gumiho?
Oh! It somehow lives. Now you.
Oh. That's not exciting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he can kind of just...
He can do it a couple more times. Cure right now is trying to buy time.
It does not appear to me that there's a whole lot that you can do to really deal with this. And when the tanks are on siege, I mean, the Marines, you can see they're just not that tanky. Uh-oh. Battlecruiser number 2.
Another siege tank is going to get Yamato'd here in a moment. This is an insane game.
You know, it's funny. You can really see how much the units get stuck on each other when trying to run away from the Battlecruiser.
This is a third BC on the way, by the way. Oh, this is awesome.
Oh, he's going mech.
This is such a cool game.
This is insane.
I feel like Gumiho is getting very close to reaching a breaking point where he's going to get a ton of damage done on Cure. Cure is bled out. He has 6 Marines right now. He's bled out so many Marines now. Vikings are out. Another Yamato comes in. Siege tanks are getting picked off.
And this is the problem right now for Cure is that every time he gets to disable, it's great, but when that finishes, usually a Yamato cannon's ready.
Couldn't merge together and actually catch this run by coming in. The natural expansion, SCVs are clubbing up. Oh, the siege tanks, they get exposed. Yamato's on the 2 full HP ones, and then they power down the low HP one. Gumiho might be going to the round of 4 with this build, and they're going to TP out. My goodness. This is crazy.
A wild game, dude.
This entire series has been awesome. I mean, what are the builds that we've seen from Gumiho? It was Game 1, Marauder opening against the Cyclones of Cure. Game 2, Rapid Siege Tank, repeated drops with a Medivacs. And now Game 3, Proxy triple Battlecruiser with a Yamato cannon into mech. What a range of TBT. Gumiho is just
really
insane. Now, this game is not over yet, but Gumiho is in such a commanding position. Cure's been on the back foot this entire time. He's pumping out pretty much nothing but Vikings and Ravens. And now you have the mech on the ground.
Yeah, and the thing is, the tank count has been so whittled down that now you can straight up tank push into other tanks. There's just not a lot you can do. The Vikings don't really help anymore. The Battlecruisers have never left the game. It reminds me of, like, you know, 5 years ago when we talked about Terran getting up to 3 Battlecruisers versus Zerg, and it's like just a different way to play the game where as long as you don't lose them, you do get value.
Oh, the Hellions and the Natural get another 11 SCVs.
Gumiho has always had a different way of looking at Terran, and I feel like as crazy as Cure's Terran has been today, Gumiho really has stolen the show.
Wow. All right, Disable comes in so that Yamato Cannon does get shut down. Blue Flame is done now for Gumiho in this TBT. Siege tank count 8 for Gumiho, 2 for Cure, as the Liberator is going to be the unit that tries to really fend off this assault. I mean, the Yamato Cannon, yeah, you're getting the disables off, but the cannon's not fully getting denied. Eventually, it's just going to try and come in again. And Cure, credit to him, he's sustained so much damage. We actually have triple Thor in production here for Gumiho, I think, to deal with the Liberators. This is...
Yeah, I think that, you know, maybe
wow.
Just get rid of the Vikings in the distance. Now, Cure
Yeah,
is
that's a good
still,
point.
he's still alive, okay? It's basically been him almost killed off for, like, the entirety of this game.
There's no way I think that Cure is able to take a 4th base on this map.
No, he's totally boxed in.
Oceanborn is always one of these maps that's kind of difficult for pretty much every race to safely secure a 4th base. That's just one of the features of this one is your 3-base setup. It's quite safe, but beyond that, it's hard to expand and take a 4th. And Gumiho with this mech can just kind of roam across the map, and there really isn't anything that can contest this. I mean, look at this army. It's insane. The Thors can deal with pretty much everything on the ground. It completely nullifies, I think, the Liberators. The Battlecruiser is just constantly Yamatoing everything, and Gumiho is feeling confident. He's going to actually siege up this position between the Natural and the 3rd. This is a big moment in the game. Disable's going down on almost every single siege tank, but it doesn't matter. The standing army here for Gumiho is still so strong. And now the BCs, they pull everything out of position.
Oh my God, that was sick.
They pull all the air out of position. They TP into the Natural. And now the Disables, they're mostly gone here at the ramp.
Yeah, these Thors are going ham on the Vikings. But I'll tell you what. Cure is not dead.
Yeah, he's hanging on. It was a little bit of an overextension there for Gumiho, I gotta say. That was a very clever tactic, but...
It was probably unnecessary. He probably could have had his 2 extra command centers finish. And, you know, make this Cure's problem, because now Cure has a counterattack, and I'm actually starting to get a little bit worried here. All the tanks that were accumulated in this game from Gumiho, well, they're gone. I mean, we've got 1 sieged up here, but we know that's not going to last. SCVs are being pulled. Oh my God!
Is Cure bringing this
do
back?
The reversal?
Oh my goodness, it's unbelievable. Gumiho trying to intercept reinforcements across the map with these Battlecruisers. We're watching Thor's fighting landed Vikings.
I know.
It's
the giant ground robots versus the flying small robots.
And Cure might have actually just done it. You called it exactly. He was waiting for Gumiho to go for an overextension. Gumiho possibly overextended a little bit too much there in the natural expansion of Cure. He got a lot of damage done, but he lost the critical tank count that was really the backbone of his army.
Dude,
but
this is insane, man.
I've never seen the TBT play out like this.
Now the Thors are going to go down. The reversal has happened. I mean, the supply is just too low.
Gumiho still mining on basically 4 bases. Is there a world where Gumiho can stabilize from this? I don't know how he's going to be able to clean up these siege tanks. Now the Battlecruisers are coming in. They're actually, wait, where are the Vikings? They were on the ground fighting the Thors. How many are left? Oh, is there no more anti-air?
Well, there's Marines coming down. Hold up.
There's only a handful, though. He has 15 Marines in total across the map.
Dude,
all the siege tanks are dying.
This
What
game
is
actually
happening?
too dramatic. It's too much.
Is this the game of the year, Tasteless?
This might be it. This is wild. Yeah, he gets far enough, and it's like, uh-oh.
This is insane. I feel like I'm a kid at a candy shop, and I'm getting like the best candy, like the $20, like the $20, like, what do you call
You're
those?
getting the
those
most
big,
expensive jelly
yeah.
beans in the candy shop. Dude, this is such an insane game, and it looks like it might have balanced back out. We got to see if Cure can stop this next push that's going to come in here.
So Cure right now, he's building Vikings 5 at a time because he still has no answer to the 2 Battlecruisers that are standing. The Medivacs, they're very low on HP. Liberator's now coming across the map to try and get some damage done. Unfortunately, that one is going to siege up in range of a missile turret. And now it's Gumiho punishing Cure's overextension. As I feel like this game is so unique that even the players don't really exactly know what to do. And the standing army now for Cure, taking an inventory, is 9 Vikings, 1 Liberator, 6 Marauders, and 9 Marines. No siege tanks to be found. He's trying to build Vikings 5 at a time, and eventually those should be able to deal with the Battlecruisers, but how do you deal with a siege tank count now up for Gumiho?
Well, I think that's what's going to probably win the game for Gumiho now, unless this gets even crazier.
Plus the Hellbats, too. I mean, there's almost more siege tanks than Marauders right now.
Yeah. He actually evacuates the Battlecruisers, probably to repair back at home. You know, Cure got deep in there with his counterattack, but didn't take out any point of interest.
And
because
I think
there were so many bases that were mining. GG.
Wow, what
Gumiho
an
takes it.
insane
Dude, that
game.
was